What's good, fam? This your boy KCFL, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes in the building. Here to give you my honest take about AEWCollision that took place last night, even though it was taped on Friday night, but it was aired last night. This was the main event right here, Sting Darby and Adam Copeland versus The Righteous. Before we dive deep into this, I want to give a shout out to the Cats stream I was on yesterday. Well, I wasn't on it, but I was in the comment section. They call themselves, they value wrestling. Value wrestling. The head is Big Time, I believe that's his name. And his co-partner is Mr. Clark. And then the cat that was the mediator of the doggone stream is Miguel S. Them cats is very good. Listening to them, they seem like they favor more WWE, but they gave I thought was a very constructive take on what AEW needs to do moving forward, and I couldn't agree with like way more than what they were saying because they was on spot. It was spot on. Like I said, their channel is Value Wrestling. I'll link it in my comment section so you guys can subscribe to them and help them out. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. We are literally a week away from Full Gear. And my excitement level is literally 36%. Literally 36% right now. And it shouldn't be like that. Wrestling pay-per-views going into the story build should hype up. You should want to see cats get ready to tangle up. But because cats wrestle each other prior to the pay-per-view, they wrestle each other before, storylines don't make a lick of sense. It's almost like, why should I be excited? But then Tony Khan and them say, haha, I got you, because guess what? Tony Khan seems to be the king of pay-per-views. Even though they be long as possible, they be long as heck, and I believe he needs to cut back on it. You don't need 12 matches that are free. Every pay-per-view should not be booked like an all-in. If All In is going to be your freaking WrestleMania, make All In your WrestleMania. That's where you stack the mess out of that thing. But every other pay-per-view should not be 4 to 5 hours long. It should not. It shouldn't be. 8 matches at best. 9 at best. If your storyline is weak, keep that trash off the pay-per-view. Save the storyline and make it feel better going into the next pay-per-view. TK, I liked how right on the jump we get the main event. Great. It's like a movie. They start with the finish and then you work your way to the beginning. I get that's what Tony Khan is trying to do, but bro, you got to do a way better job at getting cats excited for your pay-per-view. It seems like it's a daily thing. Cats be like, man, Full Gear coming on, Revolution coming on, Double or Nothing coming on. But then T kept like, but the pay-per-view be great. We know. It's the build-up, man. The freaking build-up, bro. That's it. Like I said, if you need some freaking help, get some creative minds in there to help you book, bro. We want this company to survive. We want them to thrive. TNA is coming. DE is somewhat being decent. Let's get the work. AEW needs to thrive. They need to. No more games. No more clowning. No more I got another announcement in another freaking tournament. That stuff got to die. What you got to do, you got to tell a better story. That's the name of the game. And quit loading your shows with 15 billion matches. Because that's not the answer. 15 billion matches on a freaking show ain't it. If I want to go watch a random match at a random bingo hall with no story, I can. Easy. Storytelling, characterization is the freaking key. That is all. And to the to be continue factor. The to be continue factor is the freaking key. That is it. Let's break down this freaking show. We are live from Oakland, California. You know how collisions start. Cats cut their little promos or whatever. Great. First matchup. Now, this match was created on Rampage. DG cut a promo. Said that since he came up short against, you know who on Dynamite. Hey, how about I go against Andrade? Now, Andrade's storyline is he is now working with CJ Perry. CJ Perry is his manager. Who is the wife of Miro? Well, they showed Miro watching in the back. I wish they wouldn't have started off with this. I wish they would have gave us why did Andrade make the decision to have CJ Perry be his manager. I probably would have been a little bit more invested in this if they would have gave that storyline and put that out there. Like, okay, why? Why is Andrade working with CJ Perry? Then we go from the matchup. The matchup was decent. It was okay, but like I said, man, just the random match factor. I get it. DG set it up on Rampage, but you know a lot of people don't watch Rampage. I watch it because I cover the show. A lot of people do not watch Rampage, and I understand. Even with Rampage being live, and it's going to be live next week too. Rampage is going to be live, and I think TK probably like, look, screw it. I'm about to make sure every show is live because telling everybody everything ahead of time, cats are like, you know, decent match. Andrade gets the victory, and they kept showing Miro. They just kept showing him. So we know that feud is in the works. It's Andrade and Miro. What are they feuding over? We don't know. But that's where we're going. And that's where TK and them got to make things make sense. Things got to make sense. That's it. Things got to matter. What are they out here for? What's going on? That's it. Right after them, boom, we jump right into the next matchup. Which shouldn't happen. This shouldn't even happen, man. What they should be technically doing with Dalton Castle and the boys, they should be getting, since they already decided to turn them heel because they beat the snot out of the Acclaim last week and ruined their 69 celebration. What they should have been doing is we could have got some type of backstory on why Dalton Castle and them decided to just go 8. So we got 2 heels going at it. And it was supposed to be a showcase of the Nick Wayne and Dalton Castle. We didn't need this. Again, random matches, ladies and gentlemen. If I want to see a random match, I can go to my local bingo hall. It's not that difficult. AEW fans and hardcore AEW fans need to accept that this does not bring eyeballs to the channel. It does not bring eyeballs to the company. What it does, it makes people say, you know what? I can go watch something else. I can go watch football. I can go watch basketball. Hey, this is the weekend. This is where I normally do my thing out with my family and everything. I'm going out. I'm doing that. I ain't really got to watch no garbage wrestling. I don't. Like I say, like Nick Wayne is getting better, but like I said, man, it you just didn't need this, man. I feel like Tony Khan is literally turning Collision into another. Like I feel like Dark and Elevation are Rampage and Collision. That's what, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that, man. I'm like, dog, TK, you can't just be a matchmaker, bro, because I feel that's all you know. Like, you just pick 2 random names and say, hey, you go out there and wrestle. Matchmaking ain't it. It's not. Matchmaking ain't it. It's not. I would have preferred a backstory on why Dalton Castle and them did what they did last week to be content. Now, the one thing they did, one thing I give Tony Khan props. They did showcase the to be continued factor. They did give us a recap of what happened at the end of Dynamite. That was great. TK, we need a whole lot more of that. We need a whole lot. We need way more of that than what you're giving us. The to be continued factor is the number one case that you should be flying on. That is the number one thing that you should be riding on, Tony Khan, from this point forward. We're going into Full Gear. After Full Gear, every television show, regardless if it's Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, must be off the chain. And speaking of which, next week's Dynamite, next week's Collision and Rampage is coming on Friday night. Everything is live. Guess what? It's going head-to-head with SmackDown. SmackDown's going to kill them. But at the end of the day, you don't worry about that, Tony Khan. You better believe to stay your tail off social media. Don't you dare hop on social media and start talking about, well, they had Roman. Well, no, don't worry about them. Don't concern yourself with them because you know the trolls are coming. You know the people that can't stand your guts are coming. Don't you worry about them either. What you focus on is getting cash ready for Full Gear. That's what you focus on Collision and Rampage. You focus on that. That's what you focus on. Don't focus on nothing that the E is doing because listen, they are well established. WWE been around for near 70 years. Don't worry about them. What you need to do is focus on getting this company off the ground where it's at. That's what you focus on. I don't want to see one goofy man tweet. I don't want to see no blowing up and having another meltdown because I know the trolls are going to be in your mentions. They already in your mentions right now. But don't pay no attention to those clowns because they are not worth your time and energy. This right here is your time and energy. Your time and energy is spent in building up the AEW roster and making cats care about what's going on in AEW television. Backstage segment. Adam Page cuts a promo on Swerve. And he lets the world know what Swerve did by bringing it into his house and going to his son's crib. He's going to not only piss on Swerve's grave, but he's going to have his son piss on his grave too. Because at Full Gear, they're not just having any kind of match. They're having a Texas death match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we seen Adam Page and Moxley. Them two murdered each other. They murdered each other. That is Adam Page's household. That is his playing field. Home field advantage belongs to Adam Page in this match. But the rightful person who needs to win is Swerve Strickland. No matter how devious and how crazy Adam Page is going to get, since this is his playing field, Swerve needed to be that just more devious. That's all I'm looking for. Because if you truly want Swerve to be the one to be our very first black AEW World Champion, you got to present him as such. I've liked everything he's done so far. TK, do not take the foot off the pedal. Don't you dare. What needs to happen at Full Gear is Swerve needs to kill this man. Now, when I say kill, I'm talking about just, I'm not talking about literally kill, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about destroy. He needs to beat the brakes off of him. He needs to. I seen cats say that TK going to be 50-50. No. Don't be 50-50. Don't. Swerve Strickland needs to go over. That is all I need is Swerve to go over. I thought this was a solid promo. Great. Then we back to the random matches. LFI versus the Workhorsemen. Didn't need this at all. This should have been a talking segment. LFI comes out there. They call out Ricky Starks. They call out House of Black. And they call out FTR. And they all come into the ring. They all confront one another. And they say, look, we the best tag team in the game right here. And they say, no, we the best. And then they said, no, we the best. And then Ricky Starks and them say, y'all fools are up here arguing because you clowns won our titles. You clowns think you're the best, but you don't have these. When you have these, it's established that you are the greatest tag team in wrestling history. So since you clowns are arguing back and forth and pointing at who deserves a shot and this and that, we are feeling generous. We're going to be generous and give each and every one of you a shot at Full Gear. That means it's us versus you, versus you, versus you. Boom. And guess what? If chaos happens, chaos happens. It's not that difficult. It is not that difficult to book. Instead, we got another Workhorseman. Now listen, yes, we've been seeing the Workhorsemen, but all they are is enhancement talent. They're not being built up for anything. They're just there to get jumped. That's all they're there for. I really have no investment in the Workhorsemen because every time I see them, I know they're going to take the L. That's it. Decent match, but again, random match. It's the random match syndrome. That's all TK know. Booker, that's it. I just talked about them. House of Black said what they wanted. Julia Hart said she coming after Chris. She said she's going to face Red Velvet, and she's going to no, I'm sorry. She's already in because she won already. Chris and Julia are already set for Full Gear. They're waiting on who's going to go against. I'm tripping. Chris went against Willow, and she told her, she said, you know what? Out of all the people who deserve a title shot, it's you, Willow. But since the spooky girl claims she's going to do something, I wish you the best. And then next week on Dynamite, we getting Sky Blue versus Red. Whoever wins that match is getting in. The winner of the match at Full Gear is going to be either Sky Blue or Julia Hart. One of them is winning. Chris is losing. Chris is definitely losing the TBS title. Her title reign is coming to a close, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. I'm telling you right now, it's done. Like I said, this could have been situated a long time ago. They did not have to prolong this. Cats just in the ring looking at each other. Nope. You could have had this situated a long time ago. Cats would have been like, okay, I'm invested in Chris. I'm invested in Willow. I'm invested in Julia Hart. I'm invested in Sky Blue. I'm invested in Red Velvet. It's like, boom, it's not that difficult. All of this could have been situated a long time ago, but Tony Khan wanted to wait to the very end because he literally don't know what he's doing. It's literally booking on the fly. Long-term booking makes wrestling great. Forget this booking on the fly foolishness. Booking on the fly foolishness does not work. And it would never work. It would never work. I get it. Injuries happen, whatever. But booking on the fly does not work. Willow Nightingale got jumped by Julia Hart. She wins. Great. We get Roderick Strong versus Darius Martin. This was set up on Rampage. I know everybody say it's another random match. That's what happens. Tony Khan, that's all he know how to do. But like I said, this was set up on Rampage. So Roderick Strong getting pushed out there by the Kingdom with the doggone neck brace on in the wheelchair. Got in there, had a doggone very good matchup with Darius Martin. Great. So afterwards, they started jumping, started beating the brakes off of Darius Martin. And that was that. So Tony Khan and Bryan Danielson pull up on TV. And this is where I say TK needs to get out the way. Because popping up on TV every week ain't it, bro. Nobody trying to see you. Bryan out here looking like a dang, like he just left the hospital. We got the doggone Band-Aid over his eye. Man, my man is a shell of himself, man. He's still one of the best in the game. But just seeing him with that doggone Band-Aid, I just like, man. I don't know, man. I literally don't. I'm like, should Bryan just call it a career? I don't know, man, because I'm just trying to see. I want to see my man succeed. I want to see my man do what he got to do. Because, like I said, look, man, this man has given us some of the greatest wrestling matches we've seen throughout our lifetime. He is one of the best in the game. You can't deny that. Tony Khan said, look, I know you wanted to do the G1 Climax. For people who are not familiar with that, that's something with the New Japan folk and all of the independent folk. They all come together, and it's a tournament that goes on from March to August. Tony Khan said, we get ready to do this in 6 weeks. And the first one start at, the conclusion finishes at Endgame. So whoever wrestling who, because Bryan is already the first participant. So whoever's wrestling who, this stuff is supposed to start on Dynamite or something like that. I said, here we go again. Another tournament. What does the person get? We don't know. It's called the Continental Classic. Who wins what? We don't know. It's like another random tournament. I'm like, TK, if you didn't do tournaments so much, maybe cats would be more invested. Now the hardcore cats, they loved it. I seen them, they was getting off online. But us who are so doggone tired of freaking tournaments that don't lead to nothing, that's, to me, the tournaments are just a lazy way of booking. It's just lazy. It's lazy as heck, man. But like I said, 12 participants, so 11 others, because Bryan is already in it. 12 participants are going to be a part of this situation. And it's supposed to finish at World's End or something like that. But if TK can somewhat... look, now here's the deal. The other 11 clowns that's supposed to be in this better not be a bunch of jobber clowns that shouldn't be in it. It should be some legit cats who we literally want to see be involved in this situation if Tony Khan really wants us to get behind it. Because when you start putting mid-card Memphis piece of crap and Isaiah and them and other Jeff Hardy, man, it's already lost its luster. It has. I'm just being 100% with you. But I personally think it's just for Bryan. You know what I'm saying? And Bryan already said he's going against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom or whatever. But it is what it is on that, man. So, again, I just talked about it. Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Now, this is a great match. The ladies did work. They did a great job. I told you, Julia Hart is getting great. She's getting better. Willow Nightingale, you know how good she is. But Willow Nightingale, at this point, Willow Nightingale is enhanced talent, ladies and gentlemen. Sisters with enhanced talent. I mean, she's enhanced talent. Julia Hart gets the victory. She wins. And that's that. So then we get Ricky Starks and Big Bill talking with Lexi, talk about we ain't putting our titles on the line. And then they said, hold up, yes you are, because I've just been informed by Tony Khan that you're going to be in the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Tag Team titles. And then Ricky Starks said, how the heck am I the last person to know what's going on and I work here? See, illogical booking. You could have had this segment take place out there and the matchup would have been set already. This is why I personally believe, ladies and gentlemen, AEW definitely needs authority figures. This way Tony Khan don't have to be on TV. He don't have to make clown announcements and all this stuff. No, get yourself authority figures. If you got to do the GM route, do the GM route. The GM, like I said, you got, like I said, Big Show shouldn't be wrestling. I probably have, if you really want Paul White to be on TV, I have Paul White run Dynamite while I have Mark Henry run Collision and Rampage. Like literally, that's what I would do. Like if you desperately want Paul White on TV, Paul White should be your general manager for Dynamite, and Mark Henry should be your general manager for Rampage and Collision. Is it boom? They need some authority figure. This way, Tony Khan don't have to be putting his goofy looking face on TV. No, we're not trying to see it. But the matchup is set, so that's that. Paul White was on commentary and Powerhouse Hobbs beat the snot out of this. He beat the brakes off this clown name. His local. They just put local athlete. Let me tell you something, man. Powerhouse Hobbs got the best power bomb. He got the best power slam in the game. That's not even a question, man. He murdered that cat. So Don Callis was sitting out there. He got on the mic, started rambling, saying who knows what. Just that's Don the Clown. Don gets over just by saying anything. And for some weird reason, the fans, they love to boo him for just saying anything. But that's what he does. He was rambling about Big Show, rambling about Kenny, rambling about Jericho, rambling about Ibushi. And so he told Powerhouse Hobbs to flip the table. And he flipped the table, but Big Show really didn't flinch. So Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis was quote unquote trying to hold Hobbs back, trying to get us excited for the doggone matchup. Sammy Guevara's not cleared, so it's gonna be Big Show, Kenny Omega, Jericho, Kota Ibushi versus Will Hobbs, Kyle Fletcher, Brian Cage, and Takeshita. Now, Jericho and Takeshita had a doggone match at the DDT showing, and word is Jericho won, so fans are crying, so that should tell you who needs to win this match. Powerhouse Hobbs and them need to win on Wednesday. They need to win. Now, how do you get them to win? Maybe the Young Bucks cost them. Maybe. I don't know. But that's that. Just talked about all that. FTR talked about they getting ready to win their championships back. Big whoop. Then we get to the main event. Lance Archer and the Righteous versus Sting, Darby, and Adam Cole. This might have been the best match on the show, but the wrong team won. We debut Lance Archer and the Righteous just for them to lose to Darby and them. You had Christian in them. They could have easily came out there and screwed them over. This would give more heat for Christian and them going into going into Full Gear. I'm telling you, man. I don't know. I literally don't know. I'm doing everything in my power to help Tony Khan book a better show, and he just refuses to do the opposite. He refuses to do anything he wants. It makes absolutely no sense. Logic gap. Like I said, after the match, Christian and them came out, looked at them, stared them down. He lifted up the TNT title, and that's how the show went off. I said, man. Boy, man. What happened to the show that I genuinely thought was a different version that AEW needed? It feels like that show has died. I'm like, man, TK, please get out the way, dog. Get out the way. Bro, we want this company to survive. I want it to thrive, man. But you being in the way with this silly booking that you're doing, the random matches that don't lead to nothing, the matches that's supposed to be on the show, the wrong clowns are winning. They didn't need to win this. Darby was sitting right there to take the pinfall. Darby is so bulletproof, it don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense at all. if you wanted Christian and them to get more heat, they would have came out. They would have caught Sting in them, and the Righteous would have been standing tall. Christian would have been standing tall. Nick Wayne would have been standing tall. Luchasaurus. But nope, TK refuses the heat. He refused it. He don't want to change. He want to do what he want to do. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, you can make it. Well, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got nothing else to say. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link to Value Wrestling. I'm gonna put they link, they channel in the doggone comment section so you can check them out. I ain't really got nothing else to say. I'll talk to y'all cats later. This is your boy KSFL King, Self Life Wrestling Takes. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment on what you thought about Collision and what you think TK and them can do to improve. Or maybe you thought the show was great. Maybe you think they didn't need no improvement. Maybe you just wanted them cats to say, hey, I just love pro wrestling. If you like it, like it. If you don't, you don't. Hey, you know what to do. Hit the like button, and I'll talk to y'all cats later. I'll let your boy.